Hello, everyone. It's Sal Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. Hope everyone is doing good. Everyone's doing fine. Welcome to the stream, guys. A real pleasure to have you on board, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, of course, on this Tuesday morning where I am, wherever you are in the world, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everyone who's joined me today, guys. Let's get straight into it in regards to Manchester United. Of course, there is always news in regards to Manchester United. There's been news about a fight in the dressing room between Onana and the players. I don't believe that for 1 second, to be honest with you. I don't think that Ruben Amorim would allow a fight in the dressing room. There's rumours about Onana's future. Is Onana leaving Manchester United? And if so, who will replace Onana in that side? And also, we have some transfer news in regards to a shock target in the Bundesliga. We've also got a shock target from Switzerland, guys, which many of you might have not heard of, but I'm going to bring that into the show as well. And another young player that Man United want to get hold of from the youth academies over in England, of course, guys. So let's get straight into it, guys. Absolutely great to have you on board. Of course, we're still digesting the Newcastle United thumping, should we say. I mean, I hate saying that. To be honest, I really do hate saying that, but it was really an awful performance from Manchester United, wasn't it, in all honesty? And hopefully it gets spelled out. No one gave Manchester United a right to down tool at the weekend. We know that Thursday is the most important game in regards to our season since the FA Cup final, but no one gave those players the right to down tool on the other day. And I'm very disappointed by a number of the players in that team who just didn't turn up. You sort of felt it's like all these players need, right? All these players need is that little bit of hint of down tool, they will do it. They'll grab it with both hands. That's what they'll do. And this is the problem that we have. It's a mental thing. It's a mentality thing. Just that little bit of authority to say, oh, right, you don't have to win today. Then automatically, boom, it's gone. They don't need to play. They don't play. Exactly. Big up, Sanjay. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you back. Of course, good to see you. Yeah. So it was very disappointing, but we're moving on. We got the game against Lyon on Thursday, the biggest game since the FA Cup final. But I want to talk about Ineos and you know what, this news about not only Blanc has left the football club again. You know, another person has left the football club for whatever reason. Some people saying that he was only there part time, etc., etc. But there's always something, isn't it? There's always this kind of thing that makes you think that there's a money-saving exercise going on. Do you know what I mean? There's always this money-saving exercise thing that is happening. And there's always something in the negative, should I say. There's always a negativity in regards to Ineos, in regards to Manchester United right now. And there's never anything positive coming out of Manchester United. We got more quotes from Gary Neville about the tactics are the problem. We got quotes from Stephen Warnock in Sky. The tactics are the problem. These guys, do they not understand football or what? I don't think they quite understand. I don't think just because they played the game. They don't think that because they played the game, I think they understand football better than anyone else. But I think they're making themselves look like absolute prats, to be honest with you. The problem is the play. We do not have the quality in our team right now to play Ruben Amorim's system. That is the biggest problem that we have right now. It beggars belief that some people still can't quite grasp this. You know, we don't have the players to play Ruben Amorim's system at the moment. And it just beggars belief. Good morning, Baz. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Really good to see you. Good to see everyone on board, of course, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. So, look, the tactics are not the problem at Manchester United. The tactics were not the problem under Eric Ten Hag. They were not the problem under Jose Mourinho or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They were not the problem. Wow. Maybe under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the counter-attacking football probably, wasn't proactive, so to speak. But I would say that at the end of the day, the problem is the lack of players who fit the system, right? It's not about quality because we all know Man United have signed quality in the past, right? We just don't have a direction at the moment. We have no direction. We go in certain direction. Like when Alex Ferguson left, we had David Moyes. When David Moyes left, we had Louis van Gaal. When Louis van Gaal left, we had Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho, we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we had Ralf Rangnick. Ralf Rangnick, we had Eric Ten Hag. And again, all different types of managers. And when you delve into their tactical beliefs and philosophies, you would understand that they're all different managers, and no real direction, right? Hopefully now Man United are beginning to go into a direction that is basically on the same page as Ruben Amorim. And I hope so, because Ruben Amorim needs his own players in there. Now, let's get into a bit of transfer news, guys. Manchester United are interested in veteran, I wouldn't say veteran, but experienced Czech Republic international Patrick Schick. We all remember Patrick Schick. He scored that goal against Scotland in the Euros, didn't he, in 2020? Was it 2021? Around that time. Scored the goal against Scotland in the Euros. Patrick Schick is a 29-year-old player who currently plays for Bayer Leverkusen. Now, he is a very prolific scorer, 23 goals for the Czech Republic in not a great team, by the way. He hasn't been playing in a great team in regards to the Czech Republic. 23 goals in 44 appearances for the Czech Republic. His contract expires in 2027. He's tall, he's domineering, he's experienced, and this is what Ineos are looking for at the moment. I know there was rumours about Ineos going for the under 26, but it has become apparent that Man United need experience up front. But obviously with Ineos, we don't have the budget to get certain players in through the door, the players that we actually want, right? Well, Schick, he can play as a right wing, second striker, and a centre forward. He's left-footed and an experienced striker. He's been playing all the way through the under-16 Czech Republic, all the way to the current Czech Republic main squad. The fee for him will go from 27 million euros to 50 million euros. Now, that could go down, of course, guys. That could go down, given that 27 million. I mean, if we get the bottom end, what I would say, if we get the bottom end of that deal, 27 million euros, right, which is about, what, 21 million pounds, 22 million pounds, that would be absolutely fantastic, guys. That would. And it is a cheap signing, an experienced signing, and a signing that I would like. If it gets up to the 50 million euro maximum market price, then that is getting too much for a 29-year-old who hasn't played in the Premier League and plays in the Bundesliga, for example. But he has won the Bundesliga, of course, with Bayer Leverkusen, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, he won. He's also played for Roma, of course. He started out at Sparta Prague, was his team originally. Started out at Sparta Prague, but he has gone on to Roma. Didn't quite work at Roma. And since then has been playing for Bayer Leverkusen, of course, guys. Since 2021, has won the Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen as well, guys. Absolutely. Big up, EC. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. This is Ineos' fault. Why would they not back their man in the winter window? I'm hearing all these rivals are going to invest summer. We are going to left behind because of these penny pinchers. Absolutely. This is what it is, EC. We're spending 33 million on agent fees, mate. We're spending 33 million on agent fees and we're making people redundant. This is how incompetent we are as a football club right now, how we're owned by the football club. We didn't want Ineos through this door. We did not want Ineos. They were unwanted. And this greedy man has come in and he's just said, like, I want to do this. We ain't got the money. Well, we ain't got the money anymore. We got to cut down. We have to cut down because we almost went out of business. Yet you're spending 33 million on agent fees. You're spending 33 million on agent fee. What are you doing there, mate? You've already spent, right? You've already spent on sacking Erik ten Hag. How much did Blanc cost to sack, by the way? Right? How much did he cost? Did we pay a fee for that? We probably wasted in the 6 months or year. No, it's a year since Ineos have been at the football club, roughly. We probably wasted over 100 million on nothing. On nothing. That is Ineos for you at the end of the day. Good morning, Shah. How you doing, my friend? Are we doing well? We'll be linked to Schick because he's cheap, probably Shah, cheap and experienced. Big up, Ty Bog. What's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're good. I don't think Schick is good enough for United, but still would be a huge upgrade way of right now. I don't believe he's good enough either, Ty Bog. I agree with you. I'm looking at the Osmans and the Gutierrez's, and we're looking at Patrick Schick. Look, I don't think Schick is a bad player. I don't think he's technically gifted like some players, like other players will be. He's more like a target man, so to speak. You know what I mean? He's a very straightforward, no-nonsense striker, right? And does score goals, but will he fit into the Premier League? This is the biggest concern that I have. And will he elevate Man United? Will he get 20, 30 goals for Man United? This is the key. In a team, by the way, that doesn't make chances for the strikers, etc. So it's going to be it's up in the air. It's extremely difficult to tell, but I would say that Patrick Schick is a shock. He's not cheap. He's, by the way, he's 27 million euros to 40 million euros. So that is not cheap. That could be anywhere. Let's say meet in the middle, 35 million euros, like 30 million euros. Let's meet in the middle, right? So that is still quite a lot of money for a 29-year-old who has not played in the Premier League. That represents a huge risk, and it's a big part of our budget, isn't it? So I do believe that, we can put that money towards better use. But I'm hearing these names floating around like Patrick Schick. I mean, we do need an experienced striker. We do. But there are other strikers out there that probably, might even, be cheaper than Patrick Schick and might even be better. But Patrick Schick is not a bad player. He is prolific international wise. 1 goal and 2 roughly. So it's not too bad. But it's, as Tyborg said, it's not the striker that Man United will elevate Man United to the place that we ultimately want to be, of course. Absolutely. Big up, Tyborg. Is he any good? I don't think Schick is a massive upgrade for us, but he's better than nothing. Shah, I would say that what we have to be careful of, my friend, we have to be careful of not just buying for the sake of buying. We have to buy a player that is going to improve Man United. Yes, he's going to be better than what we have. He is. Because at the end of the day, you look at Rasmus Højlund, he's not the guy at the moment that is going to get you goals. At least Patrick Schick is a player that can score goals. He's a player that can score goals and proven to score goals. When you look at Rasmus Højlund's career, he hasn't really put the ball in the back of the net prolifically. Patrick Schick has. And I feel like we need this. I know that Alex Ferguson used to sign these experienced players, especially up front. He used to sign experienced strikers and stuff like that. But what we have to be careful of is that we don't just go for a player because they're experienced. We have to look at the quality of the player as well. And if they will fit the Manchester United team, a Manchester United mold, of course. Absolutely. Shah, do you think there'll be 33 million fee also has something to do with the Xerxes rumor where we gave an agent fee? Yeah, there's the Xerxes one, of course, Shah. At the end of the day, you know what agent fees are going to be a problem. Obviously, Alex Ferguson had a problem with agent fees many, many years ago. And obviously it led to the problem with Mina Raiola and Patrick and Paul Pogba and people of that nature, of course, guys. But, if it's a world-class player, a generational talent, then you say, well, you're going to have to pay the agent fees because other clubs are interested in that player. But players like Xerxes and stuff and the build-up of agent fees for nothing, basically, nothing, right, is sad and pathetic because when you're looking at the amount of cutbacks that we're making at the moment to people who have normal jobs, working class people who have been sacked, and have mortgages, have loans, have rent, have kids, and they're being sacked for basically 40 grand a year, if that, you know what I mean? And then we're wasting money, 33 million on agent fees, on particular, like you said, on Xerxes, which is a little bit bewildering to me. And it just makes me sick, to be honest, to my stomach. AC Blanc got promoted to international football relations and special advisor from United. He hasn't been sacked, apparently. Apparently, he's not been sacked. But, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little bit of a payoff for him, EC. I do believe that. When we look at it, it does seem a little bit weird. He was only going to be at Man United on a temporary basis, of course, guys. But it does seem a little bit of a shock that, he's gone now. It just seems like there's something sinister going on there, if you know what I mean. It does seem like there's something going on. And you know what? There always seems to be with Manchester United, isn't it? Shah, I swore we've been linked to him before in the past. Yes, we have, Shah. And I think back then, I think the fans put their nose up to Patrick Schick. They put their nose up to Patrick Schick, yeah. I remember it because, Patrick Schick, oh, no, we don't want him, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure whether he was playing for Roma at the time, but we did put our nose up at him. And, now look, at the end of the day. Almac, Jonathan Davis' striker is the best out of the money. His wages and signing bonus and reasonable. Osman's wage demand is twice David's requested. Osman's twice the player as David is, in my opinion. Almac, Osman is a much better player than Jonathan Davis. That's why he get offers. He wants more money. I'm not saying Jonathan Davis is a bad player. I just feel like there's a reason why teams are not rushing for his signature. Why do you think there's a reason? He's injury prone. He's played in France and he's prolific-ish. Would I like him other than anyone else? There are better strikers out there, no doubt about it. Is David going to elevate Man United to the levels that we want to be elevated to? I don't think so. But, you know what, it is better than nothing at the end of the day, and it is better than what we have. And if we get Jonathan David, and let's not forget, Jonathan David is wanted by other clubs as well. We're not the only club. And the problem is going forward is that you snooze, you lose at the end of the day. Man United are not in the Champions League. Other teams are in the Champions League. And, he wants Champions League football. He's openly said that he wants Champions League football. So we have to wait and see what happens with that. There's going to be a rush for David's signature. There's going to be a rush for him. And we're not going to be on the front of the queue, unfortunately, the way it is. He scores goals, but he plays like words. Andrich, Grimaldo, Xhaka, Boniface, and Frimpong around him. I would score a couple. Absolute table. You make a good point, mate. At the end of the day, yeah. Look, when you got that kind of quality around it, a bit like Messi, isn't it? A bit like Messi when he had Iniesta and Busquets, and Xavi around him, isn't it? We don't want to throw that one in there for the Messi fanboys, do we? But anyway, Wirtz, Andrich, Grimaldo, Xhaka, Boniface, and Frimpong. Yeah, I mean. They have a good team there, Leverkusen, don't they? Haven't quite reached the heights this season, though. But, yeah, definitely. But I did see him, Tybo. He does score for Czech Republic. That's in his favour. He does score for that. He's got 23 goals in 44 appearances for the Czech Republic. So we can bring that in, in his defence. I'm his lawyer. In his defence, he scored that many goals for the Czech Republic. Big up, Tybo. I'm agonised deeply with the sacking decisions. Yeah. It seems very ominous, doesn't it? Do you think that Schick has the aura to shout at players like Bruno and Garnacho for not giving him the ball? Yes. He's a big lad, tall lad. I don't think he would take any crap shot. Absolutely not. Definitely not. So let's... Osman might be a better, but the cost 22 million. David designs like 8 million. That difference price would pay Edison. Edison is an important signing. Edison is an important signing, but as I said, Almac, David's first choice is not Manchester United. He is wanted by other clubs as well. Man United are acting very slow, Almac, in this transfer window already. Man United, if they want to get David, they're going to have to qualify for the Champions League, but we can't qualify for the Champions League until we win the Europa League. So we're going to have to wait until the end of May, until we can actually start looking at players and stuff like that. He openly wants to go to a Champions League side. He's at a stage in his career where he wants to go to a Champions League side. I myself don't know about him. I mean, in regards to how he's going to be in the Premier League, but he could be a Pepe, all we know. Do you know what I'm saying? No, but you know what I would say? That would be a waste of money then, wouldn't it? A waste of 8 million. 8 million is 8 million. I mean, he might not come to Man United and do anything. He might come to Man United and absolutely flop, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. And then we're stuck with him and the wage. So we're going to have to be very careful what players we sign. Very careful. And I'm not saying we should sign Osman. I'm not saying we sign Gutierrez. What I'm saying is that Man United just need to study the players, the personality and stuff like that, because we don't want to waste any money, even if it is 8 million. But you think about David, if he signs a 5-year contract, that's the wages on the book as well. Ephraim, what's going on? How many percent chance do you give us a win against Lyon? 75%, Ephraim. 75% I give it. And it all depends on how Manchester United approach the game in the first 20 minutes. We will know where Man United are in regards to the way they're approaching the game, the way they are, the way the game is going to turn out, etc. I would give it about 75% chance Man United go through. But let's not forget that Lyon are extremely good away from home as well. So we're going to have to be wary of this. We're going to have to be wary of this, and we're going to have to approach that game with the utmost of professionalism. And when we kick off that game, we really have to get stuck in and get going on that game. There is rumours that Matthijs de Ligt will be out for a few weeks, which is a big blow to Manchester United. Thankfully, I never thought I would say that, but thankfully, we got Harry Maguire, who could replace Matthijs de Ligt at the moment. And hopefully Matthijs de Ligt will be ready for the semi-final. And hopefully Ahmad will be ready for the semi-final as well, because we need these players. We need as many of these players as possible. Ahmad will be great, especially now that Xerxes is out. We really do need Ahmad in. We do. Hopefully we hear news about Xerxes. We haven't heard news yet, but hopefully we will. He has the height and strength to cope with the Premier League. That's for sure. That's it. Yeah, he does. Maybe that's why we're looking at him. We're more slower than a snail's funeral on transfer deals. Absolutely. Can you imagine? You'd be there all month. A snail's funeral. That's funny, Sharp. My goodness. Yeah, we're too slow. As we said, with obviously Quenda and players of that nature, you snooze, you lose. You wait too long, you're going to lose out on these players. Of course, absolutely. Big up, Kenny. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Edison, an extra gutter would be dynamite. Dynamite, absolutely dynamite. Shah, for Edison to come, does that depend on Casemiro leaving? Yes, it does. It does. Casemiro's on 370 grand a week. If we are not to buy any striker from the Bundesliga, I would go with Bergkamp from Mainz, or even I mentioned him earlier, didn't I? Ekitike and Bernard. We've mentioned them, of course, Tyberg, and we spoke highly about Bergkamp, haven't we, on the show? And we are in the market for a striker, and we are aware of Bergkamp, and we are aware of Ekitike. Ekitike would cost a lot more money. Bergkamp is a relatively unknown quantity for some people, but he does play for Mainz. He is prolific, guys, and you know what? He's a good player, and it's not just the fact that they're the finished article and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Or they're known. A lot of people like names, yeah. When it could be a striker anywhere else in the world that will cost half the price, that would be good enough for Man United. Amak, Chelsea does have Chelsea football lockdown, but it doesn't stop them from doing a transfer business. Where is the will, there is a way. It's not where. This is the thing. Where there is a will, there's a way. They spend money, Amak. We don't spend money. This is the problem. They spend $1 billion in a year. $1 billion in a year. We take billion out. We don't put $1 billion in. Chelsea are different. Chelsea are a different animal when it comes to transfers. They know what they're doing when it comes to transfers. Unfortunately, we have the wrong owners at Man United. Chelsea don't. Chelsea can entice people with money. We don't entice people with money. We can't. We're not going to do that now anyway. We got Ineos. They're not going to entice anyone with money at the end of the day, And there you go. They're completely different. Jengus, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Big up yourself. Ephraim, what do you think about United pay the highest fee of agent fees in 12 months? It's disgraceful, Ephraim. As I mentioned earlier in the show, 33 million. It is disgraceful. And in particular, the way we're making people redundant at the football club, it is disgraceful what Ineos are doing. It is. And I cannot fathom how anyone could defend this Ineos ownership or dictatorship, whatever it is. It's disgusting, in my opinion. And it goes to show you nothing has improved, has it, really? Ahmed back on the grass, so important. I hope he'll be back in the semi-final if we go through. He needs to play a couple of games here and there. Shah absolutely needs to get his match fitness up and running, and then that will be good. It'll be really good, and it's so important to get Ahmed back in the team, of course. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Triple M. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, brother. Big up, big up, big up, big up, of course. Hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're good, my friends. Absolutely. The only attacking outlet we got. But I would even say, guys, and I'm not going to be out of order, right? I'm not going to be like this guy who's just criticizing play. But I would say that Ahmad is not that guy. He's not that guy who's going to take us to that level. He's decent. He's decent. I've seen him far too many times go missing, right? And that's not to say that he's not going to become that level, because I don't criticize young players, right? If I do, I say it constructively. There have been far too many games where Ahmad has been non-existent and it gets forgotten about, right? And then people like to attack Garnacho, right? I want to see Ahmad improve. I want to see him have more strings to his bow, more crosses into the box, making that right choice as well. Because he's the same. He's the same, guys. He cuts in, he tries to shoot, he cuts in, he tries to shoot, he does the same. And this predictability about our team, and especially in the attacking front, needs to be addressed, because we have too much predictability up front. We're rating players before anyone else rates them. We need to rate these players when they actually do something significant for this football club, right? I'm not going to turn my back on these players. I'm not going to say that they're rubbish and this and that. I'm going to support them. But the jury is still out with a lot of these players, guys. We were not scoring many goals before Ahmad, and Ahmad, and before that. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I don't want to over the gas things. Ahmad is looking a little bit injury prone to me. Looks a bit weak to me, if I'm being honest, right? And he's been out. He's been out last season and he's been out this season too. So that is a little bit of a red flag for me, right? A red flag. But I really do hope that he comes back and he hits around running, because we need him. And we've needed him all season, but he hasn't been there. You know what I mean? We needed him all season, but again, at the end of the day. Do you think we can win about 10 years? I wouldn't accept 10 years, Ephraim. I wouldn't accept 10 years. Man United win the league in the next 10 years. Man United should be winning the league in the next 3 years, not 10 years. If Man United don't win the league in the next 3 years, Ineos can do one, to be honest with you. Honestly, Man United, like, if you told Real Madrid or Barcelona or Bayern Munich or, any one of those teams, right, you're going to win the league in 10 years. You know what I mean? Do you think they would accept it? People say we're not Real Madrid, not Barcelona, but we are the top 3 most biggest clubs in the world. You know what I mean? So how can we not want to win the league within 2-3 years? Even that, when you talk about that, when you think about that, even that is too much. Even that is too long. Do you know what I mean? It just, it beggars belief at the end of the day. We struggle to play from the back because we out technical bigger because we can't play out from the back. We resort to long balls, which is the problem because we can't win aerial duels. We're not good at anything at the moment. You have to look at that and you have to think that we're not good at anything. Agree on Ahmed, 100% Sal. People tend to think he's a finished player. Far from it at the moment. Look, people are gassing him up too much. They're gassing him up too much. At the end of the day, look, he's had many games this season where he just went missing. He's missing now, but when he's went missing, right? And I'm not over-gassing Ahmed. I'm not over-gassing it because I don't know what he's going to become. He's not a number 10 for me. He's another road runner. He's not a technically gifted baller. He's lightweight. You know what I mean? And let's be realistic when we're talking about Manchester United here. We're talking about the shoulders of legends. Cantona, Ahmed. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Rooney, Ahmed. I'm talking about levels here, guys. I want level. And I say the same with Garnacho. And I'm saying the same with all these players. But you know what I'm saying about at least Garnacho's available playing football. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're going to support the player. But this over-gassing and over-hyping and putting pressure on Rasmus, on Ahmed and that they're going to be the next big thing is the thing that is harming us the most. It's the thing that's harming us the most is the fact that we put this astronomical amount of pressure on these players, that we put them on this pedestal, that they're so good, they're better than what they are. And you know what? They're going to be a superstar. They're going to be a baller. They're going to be the next Lamine Yamal. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen, guys, like that. We're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to be very, very cautious with our praise. And let's see what they can do. It's a bit like what Ineos, the people who were praising Ineos before they even walked through the door. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Yeah, Ahmad's been injured. We have been abysmal. We've been abysmal before that, Triple M. Not all players are immune to injury, but then again, we criticize Luke Shaw and we criticize Mason Mount, but Ahmed's been out just as long, mate. You know, at the end of the day, and we have to criticize where we are. We are not good with the team press us aggressively. Absolutely, I agree with that, Sal. But we do need some competitive in the league. Not next consecutive years, but next season there to be improvement from 14th to 6th. Look, Kenny, we're not going to wait. I say, look, 3 years, but we're not going to wait. 10 years is a joke. That's a joke. Some of us might know him being 10. Look, 10 years is a joke, mate. You know what I mean? When I think about 10 years, I think they're trying to buy time, guys. They're trying to buy time. Ineos are trying to buy time. That's what they're trying to do by saying 10 years. That's what they're trying to do. Man United shouldn't be waiting another. We waited 11, 12 years already, mate. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? What, we're going to wait 20 years for a title? My goodness. So do you think Ahmed's overhyped? I like him, but there seems to be some people that hype him up because he's Ivorian Messi. People hype him up for sinister reasons, right? I like Ahmed. I think he is a good player, right? A good player. He's not the Ivorian Messi. He's not the Ivorian bloody Cantona. You know what I mean? He's nowhere near that. Lots of people hype up certain players because of sinister reasons. And I'm not going to get into that right now. But what we have to do, I absolutely adore Ahmed as a player. I like him, right? But there are red flags. And I bring these red flags into the stream. And I hope he lives up to his hype. Because you know what? If you don't live up to your hype, you know what I mean? It's just going to be another one, isn't it? It's going to be another one. And I go the same. I say the same about Garnacho. I say the same about Erasmus. I say the same about Mainu. I say the same about Yoro. I say the same about Dorgu. All these players there need to live up to it. They need to walk the walk. Now, there's only a few players in this squad that I would keep, guys. There's only a few players that I would keep. One of those players is De Ligt. Let's start from the back. De Ligt, I would keep. Euro, I would keep. Dorgu, I would keep. Mainu, I would keep. Ahmad, I would keep. Garnacho, I would keep. And then you look at that, and Ugarte, I would keep, right? So there's only about 7 players there, right, that I would keep. You can argue about 1 or 2 here and there, you know what I mean? Garnacho's subjective. People are going to argue about Garnacho. I think he's going to become a good player, but that is subjective, of course. But you can argue about it till the cows come home. We need about 10 players, guys, at Man United as a squad. And we need to get rid of 10. We need to bring in 10. Do you know what I mean? And to make that happen. Ineos given 10 years. Ineos, I don't think Ineos are given 10 years. I think Ineos gave 5 years. They're given a 5-year project, Ineos. But there are people out there saying it's going to take 10 years for Man United to get to the level that we need to get to, of course, which is unacceptable, not 10 years. 5 years is even too much. I think next season we'll be finished 6th to 9th and get knocked out of the group stage of the Champions League. Oh, don't say that, Shah. Let's wait and see what happens in the transfer market. Let's see what happens, and then we go from there, of course. Let's not make any rash predictions. Where are those people that were glinning us in? They have gone quiet all of a sudden. Triple M, they owe us an apology. They owe us an apology. You know, even the people who are backing Erik ten Hag, the people who criticize the people who are backing Erik ten Hag, they owe us an apology. Because at the end of the day, we told them that the manager was not the problem. We told them that there's underlying problems at Manchester United that run deeper than deep, you know, and they didn't quite understand what it is. And now some of them are turning against Ruben Amorim. The same people are turning against Ruben Amorim. It's ridiculous. People backing Ineos are backing the Glazers. Yeah, they're backing their Glazer sympathizers, mate. They're Glazer sympathizers, and they won't come out and say that they were wrong because their ego prevents them from doing that. They won't. Guys, I want to get into a little bit of more transfer news. There's another player that Manchester United interested in, Jonas Atije. Jonas Atije is a centre-back that plays for FC Basel in Switzerland. Guys, he is a Ghanaian international, 2 caps for Ghana, only 21 years old, guys. He's 1.88 meters, an absolute giant. Jonas Atije, he's spelled his surname Adgetey. Jonas Atije, Ghanaian player. Would set us back around 4 million euros only, guys. 4 million euros. But Jonas Atije is a player that is on Manchester United's radar. He is an upcoming Ghanaian international playing for FC Basel. Look, he's well beyond his years. He's well beyond his years. Only 21 years old, centre-back, right-footed centre-back. And Manchester United have been scouting Atije. And Atije, don't be surprised if you hear about Atije in the coming weeks, guys. A very, very promising young player. Another young player that Manchester United are in for, of course, guys. Again, another young player, guys, absolutely. So Jonas Atije, Manchester United are interested in, of course. If you're owners of Manchester United, what is the first thing you would do? If I was the owner, what's the first thing I would do? Start again. Clear out everything. And get rid of 10 or 15 players. Get 10 or 15 players in. Change the philosophy of Man United. That's what I would do. Absolutely. To be honest, there's a lot that needs to be done. People think Sir Jim Ratcliffe planned the regeneration. The Glazers sent a letter to Old Trafford in 2018. Yes, they did, mate. You're absolutely right, Shah. They didn't plan anything. Ineos haven't done anything of significance so far. They had a decent window in the summer, but since then it's been like negativity. Everything has gone down. Absolutely. It's cheap, but he's a good player. Ephraim, clear the debt. Well, I would, if I was owner of Man United, there wouldn't be debt. The debt would be gone because I would have bought Man United with the debt. So the debt would already be gone. There would be no debt at Man United. All the transfer fees would be gone. That would be part of the deal. That would be my expenditure on buying a club, you know. But the first thing I would do when I get my seat on that seat and I've got the club and the debt is gone and everything like that is rebuild the squad. That's what I think Man United need. That's what I think. Big up everyone. Just heard one of those so-called fan channels calling Ruben Amorim a mere interim manager. What do you say to that? I say they're mere interim football opinion, mate. Pearl, mere interim football opinion. And I know who I can guess who those people are who are saying those stupid nonsense at the end of the day. I wish that they would just honestly go away, support someone else. They're not wanted. Honestly, they're not wanted in this fan base. They're not wanted. So they just need to go away and support someone else. Do a fan channel about Blackburn Rovers or something. Do something like that. You know what I mean? Just quit talking about Man United. Do you know what I mean? Shrewsbury Town, bloody Torquay United. Do something away from Man United. Do you know what I mean? You're not wanted. You're not respected. Your opinion is dead. You speak through arrogance and egotistical narratives, and it's just not going to help anything, is it? At the end of the day, this stupidness. Ruben Amorim hasn't had one of his players. Not one of his players has come through the door. Yet he's had 3 players that have left the club. Right? He plays a unique style of football that none of these players can play. Ineos decided to bring him in between the season when Ruben Amorim wanted to come at the end of the season. So now we're going to turn against Ruben Amorim now, and we're going to try and say that Ruben Amorim is the problem. You are the problem. You are the problem, not Ruben Amorim, not any. You are the problem in this fan base. You are the problem at this football club. You're probably bigger problem than bloody Glazers. Big mouths, absolutely. They're not proper fans. They're grifters at that first 3 4 months. Absolutely, Jengus. Absolutely. Noureddin, mate, Noureddin, ever since he's quit the punk band Skunk and Nancy, I don't know what Noureddin has been doing, mate. He's just an idiot, mate. He's an idiot. He's an interim bloody bozo, rides a bike. You know what I mean? Look like a tramp. That's all he is, mate. All of them, at the end of the day. They're all a bunch of homeless people. I just don't deal with those guys, man. I don't deal with that. And I don't think we should really feed into their nonsense. All Noureddin does is scream in front of the screen with spit going out everywhere and stuff like that. That's all he does at the end of the day. Nothing else is good about him except he looks for Skunk and Nancy. Maybe he should go for a Skunk and Nancy lookalike band. Those who know who Skunk and Nancy is, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. Biani bandits. Look, guys, I don't know how you can sit in a small room, 3 grown-ass men who weigh about 300 kilos, right? Sitting in that one little room, right? Sweating away together. 3 men, by the way, sitting in that little room together, eating biryani. Can you imagine the stench in that room? There you go. Shah, I heard that one certain somebody said if he doesn't win the UEFA League, Amorim should be sacked. Mate, they're idiots. They're idiots, mate. They know nothing about this football club. Let me tell you how they know nothing about this football club. Saeed's been planning to lose weight for 10 years, Pearl. Saeed's been planning to lose weight for 10 years. Right? He should do what I do, which lose 10 kilos in a couple of months, you know what I mean, and run every day. That's what he should do. But stop talking the talk and walk the walk, mate. That's it. There you go. There's the pun there. Walk the walk. Don't just flap your gums. You know what I mean? I'm surprised these guys are so bloody overweight, considering the amount of times they run their mouth. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. But yeah, guys, at the end of the day, what I would say is that forget that. If you don't back the manager, that is just basically, criticizing and calling him a fraud at the end of the day. And that is what I talk about, the fraud brigade, the bald head brigade, the peanut head brigade, and things like that. I don't agree with at the end of the day. Ephraim, do you think the result does not go? Amorim did he resign? I don't think he's going to resign, Ephraim, because of the money he would get. He potentially could miss out on if he resigns. If he gets sacked, he gets what, 30 million, something like that. So if he resigns, he loses out on 30 million. I don't think anyone would want to do that. No wonder rival fans laughing. Absolutely, mate. Sal Noureddin is a good guy. In what language do you think he's a good guy, Daniel? In what world do you think he's a good guy? No, he's not. And I know these guys. Saeed probably have two left feet. He probably does, mate, at the end of the day. Guys, he's going boxing. Be careful. He's boxing now. Apparently, he's boxing. Goodness me. You know what I mean? Goodness me. Super heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Look, I don't feel like anyone in that crew's decent people. I don't think they're nice people. I absolutely don't. I don't. At the end of the day, they're manipulative people. But I don't agree with them, to be honest with you. I don't care who say, oh, he's a good guy. Oh, he's a good guy. I don't give a damn what you think. At the end, I know a lot of people I know a lot of good people, talented people, and for me, they're not. They are at Shah. You know what they're going to say, isn't it? You know what they're going to say. Look, at the end of the day, Saeed said that he's not going to turn against Onana because he's Saeed's Somalian. So you know what? At the end of the day, basically said that indirectly. So what does that tell you? You know, at the end of the day, this is the sort of sinister things that we need to get rid of in the fan base and call things on a footballing level. You know what I mean? Not on because, you know what, he's my guy, he's my brother, and this and that. And yeah, he's my brother too at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? But it's just not how we do things at this football club. Saeed would miss a punch Saeed punching. My goodness me. You know what? I would say that you will have a lot of time to move out the way. It'd be like this. You know what I mean? Kenny fan too. Absolutely, man. Big up, Kenny. Side rants, yeah, man, embarrassing. It's embarrassing, Jenga. So, like, I'm tired of them, you know, because, you know, the problem is that the biggest problem I have with these lot and this little circle right there. The problem that I have about these lot is the fact that they have big platforms and they're using it to destruction. Their platforms were given to them by Mark Goldbridge. Fair play. They got the platform for Mark Goldbridge and they're using it to destruction. They're using it for over sensationalist opinions that pollute the masses, the little minions there. They pollute them. And then people come on and they start saying the same things online and stuff like that and putting pressure on someone like Ruben Amram, who hasn't had a fair crack at the whip yet. You know, and I knew this will happen. I knew this will happen after Erik ten Hag. I knew I'll give it a few months before they start, you know, jumping up. It has only been a few months since Ruben Amram has taken charge of Man. People seem to forget. They don't know anything about football, Samuel. And I invite any one of them to come on this channel to prove to me that they know about football. They know about the history of Man United. I would love them to come on this channel to prove to me they know the history. Assalamu alaikum, Vincent. Hope you're doing well. Wa alaikum salam. Hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're well. Shah Saeed will follow suit with runs like he did with Erik ten Hag. He'll do the same, mate. He's his puppet, isn't it? He's got his fist up his ass. You know what I mean? It's like a puppet. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day. Saeed said yes. Saeed, yes, he said he studies boxing a while ago. Boxing what? What's he been boxing? Boxes of chocolates? Come on, man. I remember Saeed made a vid where he won't be Amram out in 18 months' time, but he will be for one reason. And I wonder what that would be. We all know what that would be, mate. It's probably a sinister reason, brother. Shah, big up, Shah. What do you think in reality will be done by the board in the summer window to improve the situation? In reality, I just, to be honest with you, all they can do, which will please me, and is to back Ruben Amram, what Ruben Amram wants, right? And that doesn't mean going out there and spending 300 million, 400 million. That doesn't mean that. You know, what he needs to do, they need to buy players that fit Ruben Amram's system. There's no point. It is counterproductive to get Ruben Amram in if they're not going to back him. It's just so, it's insanity, guys. It is insanity. If they're not going to back him, it's counterproductive, guys, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And how much impact it will create? Yeah. What do you think the reality will be? Yeah, I mean, and how much impact will it will create? I mean, it's a massive summer this summer, GK. We know that. We're going to be on fraud watch, as we know. We're going to be watching them, you know, like a hawk, of course, guys, definitely. Jenga, Saeed was telling Onana to meet him in a car park the other day for a straightener. Obviously, all for views. Absolutely ridiculous behavior. He's done that before, Jenga's, listen, I tell you what, guys, and I tell you what, Saeed offering footballers out for a straightener, which basically, guys, is offering a footballer out for a fight out in the car park, right? Now, this kind of thing is immature, number one. It's stupidness, number two. No wonder they're not married, but there you go. If you're going to be overweight, at least have a good personality. That's what I would say. It does work wonders at the end of the day. But what I would say is this, right? If he's offering footballers out in a car park, I don't think Onana of Manchester United is going to go in a car park and waste his time with Saeed. You know what I mean? If he does, Saeed needs to get a huge insurance policy on his big ass right now because he's going to end up on his flat face, guys. Definitely. I've been around fighters my whole life. I was a kickboxer for 8 years. I know about fighting and stuff like that. I don't need to rant and rave and show off and pretend I'm a big man. This is not bloody 1988. You know what I mean? And I'm not bloody Bruce Willis. You know what I mean? What I would say is that what people need to do is just keep their mouth shut and just try and concentrate on being a good person and try and concentrate on not talking behind people's backs and doing things like that, like he did with me and stuff like that. So that is what I would say. And that's how I pull it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And he won't respond because he knows. He knows. I was in England. I told him, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, he won't respond. It's the way he is. Cowards. The car park is preparing for Amram out. Oh, goodness me. I mean, look, at the end of the day, part of me thinks, guys, part of me thinks that maybe we should sack Ruben Amram. Maybe we should. Let's sack Ruben Amram, right? Right, just hear me out. Maybe we should sack Ruben Amram. And maybe, again, for the 7th time, we should get a new manager in there. And let's see what happens. And then in a couple of months, they're going to be singing from the same hymn sheet again, and saying that manager needs to leave as well. It's going to be the same thing over and over again. Ran and ran and ran. Over and over again, of course. Baz, minus more and it was Amram came in and told you all it will get worse, and he still can. But they don't understand that, mate. And this is precisely the why they can't stick to the gym. That's it. This is the answer. They cannot be patient with a manager who's told you it's going to take time to get better, right? It goes to show you everything about their personality, doesn't it? They're not patient enough to shed the carbohydrates. You know what I mean? They're not patient enough. Do you know what I mean? He can't get over that Red Bull and Mars bar in the morning. You know, he can't get over it. You know, that cholesterol, you know, that KFC, £1 chicken and chips in the afternoon. He can't get over it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And it just needs to stop talking about the football club like this and stop talking about the manager like this, because at the end of the day, it resonates and it puts poison into young, naive, ignorant people. And you know what? It just, you know, that's what we don't need at the moment. Jengus, Shah, yeah, they waffle anything for views. They're using Goldbridge model of waffle bullshit. At least Mark Goldbridge, Jengus. At least Mark Goldbridge. He does not go manager out. Yeah, we can have opinions about players and things like that, but he does speak a lot of facts, at least. Do you know what I mean? He speaks a lot of facts. He doesn't have like agendas, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like sack the manager, get the manager, blame the manager. It's the manager. If this went to the court of law right now, right, and we've had 6 managers, right, who's going to be found guilty with the amount of evidence that we had that it's not going to be the manager? Who's going to be found guilty? It's ridiculous. If you were to hear United just by the mags inside United or United we stand, yeah. Vincent, what's going on? Do you think Ransom Bands is someone that the kids have to look up on as a role model? The problem is, Vincent, they do. And the problem is that majority of these people were given platforms by Mark Goldbridge. It's up to the people to stop feeding into their nonsense and stop watching them. Because at the end of the day, if you want proper football conversation, we're here, guys. We're here at the end of the day. If you want proper Manchester United fans, we're here. You know what I mean? Stop listening to over-sensationalize. It's become like this. New era cap. Nah, bruv. He's a bum, bruv. Can't even look at the camera, right? He's a bum, bruv. Nah, bruv. Lack of charisma, everything. Nah, bruv. Nah, he's a bum. He's a fraud, bruv. Nah, man. Get out of my club. Get out of my club, man. You're rubbish, man. You're a fraud. You're peanut head. All them things, right? All them things. This is what they do, right? At the end of the day. This is what they do. You know, this is what they do. And then they feed into the masses. And that's what it is. If I was to criticize Mark Goldbridge, which I like Mark Goldbridge, he's a friend of mine. I've known him for 7 years. I would say that his taste in, his judgment of character is the problem. Right? His judgment of character is the problem. That's what I would say. Junior Goldbridge. Junior Goldbridge. Why do you stop interview of Amram? Why do they do not stop interview of Amram? Mate, you know what I would say, mate? Didn't they say that any other manager apart from Erik ten Hag will win the league with this bunch of players? Did they not say that? Did they not say that? What, you know, at the end of the day, we told them. I hate to say it. I hate to be that one who says, I told you so. But we did tell them at the end of the day, didn't we? It's mad. Crazy. They look up to Rance. Anyone who looks up to Rance, you might as well throw in the towel right now. I don't watch him normally, so I unsubscribe those guys. He talks. I know you can't get away from it sometimes, Jenga. So sometimes even I see it. You can't get away from it. But unfortunately, he's for Rance, his brother is the talented one. He's the one with the charisma and the one with the. That's why he has to go in his show, because his show is rubbish. The only reason he's got numbers is because obviously Mark Goldbridge. And guys, some people will say to you, "You're hating," no, I mean, guys, you know where I am right now. What I do right now, guys, you know what I mean. What I do right now, I enjoy my life. I'm happy. I'm delighted. You know what I mean. I've got more than them. You know what I mean? Let me tell you that. Alhamdulillah, I got more than them. And this is at the end of the day, you know what? I say I spit facts. This is what Stretford Post is. It's all about spitting the facts. Because I feel there's a number of channels out there that are not spitting the gospel. They're not spitting facts. Do you know what I mean? They're telling lies. You know what I mean? And they don't want to mention certain people because they're scared of being blackballed. They're scared of it. I'm not, man. I was in the music industry 20 years, you know what I mean, working with proper talented people, not people who sit in front of a computer and pretend they know about football. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and then what they need to do is just calm their tits, all right? Calm your tits and call games for facts. You know what I mean? Subjectively, in a balanced point of view, not just manager out because it gets you views, gets you clicks, because you get your little bit of money at the end of the month. Your little bit of money at the end of the month to buy your burgers and your cheeseburgers and your Whoppers and your doner kebabs. You know what I mean? I heard Onana practice boxing with Francis Ngannou like months ago or something like that. Side watcher. Kenny, let me tell you something. Even Luke Chadwick will knock out Said. Even Harry Amass will knock out Said. There will be about, listen, first round, right? First round. This is how it's going to go, right? First round. Get in the ring. Number one, no car park business. Let's do this properly. Get in the ring. Just go around Said. Just walk around him. Walk around him. Walk around him. Walk around him. Walk around him again. That'll be it. He'll be out of breath. That's it. Finish the job. It's ridiculous. Anyway, guys, Jengas. Sure, yeah, I called Mark Goldberger, the German Mark Goldbridge, Mark Goldberger. Pick up. So no way you were a kickboxer. So no, yeah, I was a kickboxer, Muay Thai for 8 years, my friend Daniel. 8 years, from 16 to 24. Yeah, bad man. No, but I don't need to come on here and talk about that. You know what I mean? I don't need to come on here. I learned a lot when I was younger, right? In regards to fitness, I've run 3 marathons, Daniel. So I have a lot of experience in regards to fitness and stuff like that. I run 5K every day, you know, and at the end of the day, I eat well, you know, and you know, I'm in my 40s, mate. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you know, people could talk what they talk. A lot of people talk the talk. I've seen a lot of people talking the talk over the years, and that is exactly what it is at the end of the day. Guys, let me go through some comments, of course. I'm going to go through some of these before I miss it, of course, guys. Let's get into this. This little bit of news that came out recently. Jean-Claude Blanc has stepped down from his position as director of Manchester United. However, he will continue to have an active role in the management of the club. His new position as Chief of International Football Relations and Special Advisor to the Board. So he's not really left, but there you go. Manchester United statement confirms Jean-Claude Blanc stepped down from his position as club director. United. There you go. He hasn't really left. There is interest in Andre Onana from the Saudi Pro League since he's in today's. The interest is still there and is strong and could be a possibility this summer. Manchester United are currently trying to offload Onana. Saudi Arabia looks like a likely destination for Mr. Onana. Absolutely. There was the prospect Harry Mas could have left on loan in January, but he was confident he could fight for his place and break into the United team. Good mentality from Harry Mas. This is the type of mentality that we need at the football club, of course. Believes in himself, of course. Insiders at Manchester United have been left so impressed with both Harry Mas' work ethic and his resilience leading up to the first start versus Newcastle yesterday. Yes, there you go. I told you about him. I did say it. Brilliant player. Diogo Dalot, Harry Maguire, and Mason Mount have been invaluable to Harry Mas' integration into the United's first team. Guys, Ruben Amorim is very fond of Antoine Semenyo. Bournemouth would want him in excess of 65 million to sell him. That's the problem there. Look, I mentioned Semenyo in the show a few weeks ago, as people know, but the problem with Semenyo is exactly that, precisely that, the 65 million fee that it's going to cost to attract Bournemouth to sell him to Manchester United. So that is something that I feel like is a little bit unrealistic, guys. Now, Manchester United have put Ederson on top of their priority midfield transfer wish list. Of course, Ederson has been linked with Man United for a very long time. Ederson will cost around 40 to 50 million, if not more, is a very highly rated Brazilian international, currently plays for Atalanta. Ederson would fit the mold perfectly, especially the fact that Casemiro could be leaving Manchester United in the summer with his 375,000 wages going off the books. So Manchester United do need to get rid of the 370,000. It's not only the fee that they would request, it is also the money that will come off the books. So that may free up some space for Manchester United to sign Ederson, guys. So that is something that we need to look at. Another young player that Manchester United are interested in is Ryan One. Ryan One, O-N-E, 1A, One, of course, is a player that currently plays for Sheffield United. He is only an 18-year-old centre-forward, Scottish under-19 international. He is a very versatile player as well, can play in various other positions, including guys as left winger and right winger as well. He is a left footer. It is only £200,000. Current teams that are interested in Mr. One is Liverpool and Ipswich Town, guys. So Liverpool and Ipswich Town are interested in One, guys. So look, Man United are after another youngster. Surprise, surprise. Currently playing for Sheffield United. Contract expires 2029. 200,000, guys. Sheffield United are currently playing in League One at the moment, guys. So Ryan One is another player that Manchester United have on their radar, guys. Whatever you think of that. Whatever you think of that, of course. Absolutely, absolutely. Sure. There is still some people talking about system change. I mean, I heard it from Gary Neville. I heard it from Stephen Warnock and all these crazy idiots. What was 4-3-3 under Eric Ten Hag? Didn't work under Eric Ten Hag, did it? You're still going to have the same you're still going to have the same bad players, isn't it? It's ridiculous, isn't it, guys? The one important word Sal told for the sign is experience. We need big matches, experience player. I agree, GK, with that one. Definitely you need an experienced striker. Do they not know that it will empower player power is evident with Ten Hag? They don't know that, mate. I don't think they know from their toes from their knees. I don't think they know if they've seen their toes on the knees, if you know what I mean. Cengiz, this is the storm Sal Amorim told us about. Did people think it meant a few bad games when he said a storm? I knew this season would be a carnage. I knew it as well, Cengiz. I knew it as well. Now, if Ruben Amorim goes out and wins the Europa League, are they going to come out and apologise with their nonsense? If he wins the Europa League, the bloody guy needs a statue, guys. If he wins the Europa League, he needs a bloody statue. Kenny, why do you sound like Flex? He sounds like me, Kenny. He sounds like me. I don't sound like Flex. He sounds like me. I'm older than Flex, I think. Even though his hairline suggests otherwise, I'm older. I'm older than him. But yeah, his hairline goes back to the treble season. Sorry, Flex. I've got a lot of love for Flex. I ain't got nothing against Flex. I haven't, guys. Sorry. Guys, look, listen. I've met Flex. I've met Rance. I've met Goldbridge. I've met all of these guys. I have my opinions, but you know what I mean? Yeah, it is what it is. Partey and Anguissa contract ending? Would you get Partey? Nah. When Amorim came in, I wanted Amorim to see the reality, not a manager bounce, because we've seen it before. Absolutely. Sure. Very intelligent, brother. Very, very intelligent comment. Really great comment, mate. Very intelligent. No, that impression style, the reason why I avoid most fan channels. Absolutely, man. Big up, Revert Sam. Thank you so much, Revert, for joining me, though. Means a lot. Means a lot, of course. Rants and expressions are brothers, if I'm correct. They are very... No, they're far from the same. Rants is like the one who lost all the genes to expressions. The good genes went to expressions. The bad genes went to a new era cap wearing man. Kenny, Shalom, they're both brothers and whatever. Yeah, they're both brothers, mate. Yeah, a lot of kids watch these channels, though. Yeah, and it's poisonous. Even Garnacho would destroy it. It's like, guys, you don't understand. Like, guys, Jengus, these guys go in the gym every single day. He thinks just because they're small, right, they're featherweights, that they can't knock the shit out of them, basically. He thinks that, you know what I mean? Garnacho would, and easily too. Absolutely. Jengus, Junior, I think Garnacho would rather slap Faz. My goodness me. Him and his arranged marriage. Plus, they like to say the rants in their communities are quite toxic. They're not really a lot of real conversations. They're not fans, Shah. They're not fans like me and you. They don't love the club like me and you. And I'll give you an example, right? I don't usually throw out accusations like that. When Sir Bobby Charlton, and Dennis Law died, they didn't mention them. They didn't mention them once. That just goes to show you, you know. Harry Amass, he's world class. Big up Harry Amass. We're going to keep him. Mr. Positive here. Big up Amir. Oh, big up Amir. He's back. Mr. Positive. Big up. Sure, I agree. Big up. Big up the positive guy. He was a little bit negative yesterday, though. 10 players in can be done with Cunha. And it can be done if we get rid of the players that we need to get rid of course. Absolutely. Too much race baiting also, Shah, on a few channels makes me sick. That's the problem I don't like, Shah. Listen, guys, let me tell you something about my life, right? I am a Muslim, Christian man, right? With an Asian dad and a white mother, right? I have a German Jew auntie, grandma, right? I have West Indian in my family, Brazilian in my family, everything, and I'm a Muslim. I see things from a non-biased and discriminatory point of view, right? Like that. I don't see things. I'm married to an Italian lady, right? I don't see things from color. I don't see things from race. I don't see things from religion. Unfortunately, those people see it that way. And I'm sad about that because it still goes on. And it's pretty obvious sometimes. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So I said it the other day. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? About Onana. It's disgusting. I don't know why people support them. Amir Amas, he's a good potential, but it's in. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Let's not put too much pressure on that. But where's a cat? Which I wonder why he's got no hair, mate. Absolutely. Do you think Florian Wirtz would go to Bayern or Man City? I have a bad feeling, Kenny, my friend, that he's going to go to City. I have a bad feeling about it, but they signed, obviously, they've already signed their player, Manouche, but he might go to Bayern, especially if we get Cunha. Cunha, of course. Big up, Shah. Big up, everyone, of course, guys. Speaking of Faz, he cooked a chicken sandwich for 1 hour and his missus cooked him. His cousin, you mean? It's hilarious how a few months ago, Garnacho had a decent run of form in January and Faz was quiet, but he has one bad game and he slams him agenda. Absolutely, mate. I know. It's an agenda, mate. It's nothing to do with Manchester United winning football matches. It's about their opinion being right. That's what it is at the end of the day. Absolutely. Amir's massive U-turn on United striker makes summer decision clear. Big up, Amir. Thank you so much. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a great show. Great laughs. Guys, I don't sugarcoat anything on this show. As I've always said, I'm not bloody... yeah, absolutely, sure. I told you so, FC. You know what? I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm not Willy Wonka. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't do things like that. I say things as they are. Through experience, through knowing people, through speaking to people, right? I come from a place of experience, and I'm not in the age to be sugarcoating anything. And definitely not sugarcoating Saeed, because at the end of the day, it looks like he's had enough sugar. So at the end of the day, what I would say is that, guys, thank you so much for joining me. You're absolute legends. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And please don't forget to smash a like on the video, guys. Big up, Kenny. Great stream. Good to see you, brother. And make sure you put your phone on as well, Kenny, and charge your phone. I saw it, Kenny. Don't worry. Guys, thank you so much, guys. And have much love to you all. And have a great, great afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. Much love to you all. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn. See you later for Chatterbox, guys. And put your notifications on, because I might be live anytime. You never know what happens on Man United, do you, at the end of the day? Take it easy, guys. See you later. Peace.